Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi yassir wa la tuassir wa tammim bil khair. Lesson number 20. And in this lesson, inshallah, we will learn the numbers from 1 to 10. And in the previous lesson, we learned the numbers from 1 to 10 about the masculine. And this lesson is about the numbers from 1 to 10 about the feminines. So in group 1, the feminine numbers from 1 to 2, and group 2, feminine numbers from 3 to 10. Feminine numbers, group 1. So the word for 1 is wahidatun. In the previous lesson, we have seen that for masculine, the word for 1 is wahidun without ta marbuta. And we know that when we talk about the feminine, then there is an addition of ta marbuta. So it is wahidatun, and it is used as mawsuf and sifa. It's used as noun and adjective. For example, talibatun, wahidatun, one student. So talibatun is noun and wahidatun is adjective. So we will say man'ud or not, or we can say mawsuf and sifa. The word for 2 is ithnatani. So for 2 for masculine, it was ithnani, and now there is an addition of ta, so it becomes ithnatani. And we also have learned that for 2, the numbers are used as mawsuf and sifa. So if you want to say two feminine students, we will say talibatan ithnatani. And please remember that the hamza of ithnatani is hamzatul wasl. That means when we connect it, we don't read it. So it will be talibatan ithnatani, 2 feminine students. Al-adadu, the number, al-mudhakkar and al-mu'annath. We have learned in the previous lesson that for 1, for the masculine, it is wahidun, and for the mu'annath, it is wahidatun. So we have seen it today. Similarly, for the masculine, for 2, it will be ithnani, and for the feminine, it will be ithnatani. The numbers from 3 to 10 are different. How they are different? For example, when we say number 3 for the masculine, we say thalathan, and for the mu'annas, we say thalathatun. However, we know that the numbers from 3 to 10, they are opposite. When we talk about al-adad, the adad will be opposite in gender. We have seen that if you want to say 3 men, so we say thalathatu rijalin. And inshallah, today we will see that if you want to say 3 women, or you want to say anything that is 3 and that is feminine from 3 to 10, how do we say that? So we will see that today, inshallah, we will use the numbers for masculine starting from 3 to 10. Talibatun, a student. 1 student is talibatun wahidatun, and 2 students is talibatan ithnatani, and that is our group number 1 for the feminine. Now let's move on to group number 2. We say talibatun, a student. Now we want to say 3 students, and we know that we are talking about feminine students. So we will say thalathu talibatin. And the first one is called al-adad, and the second part is called al-ma'dud. Now we need to know 2 things about al-adad and 2 things about al-ma'dud. What are those 2 things that we need to know about adad and ma'dud? Do you remember? We need to know that adad is opposite in gender, and number 2, it is used as mudaf. So about adad, about the number, we need to know 2 things: that it is opposite in gender and it is used as mudaf. Similarly, about ma'dud, we need to know 2 things. Yes, what are those 2 things? Yes, do you remember? That ma'dud is always plural, talibat, and it is always used as mudaf ilayhi. So 2 things that we need to know over here, that al-ma'dud is always plural and it is always used as mudaf ilayhi. Now talibatun is feminine, but we want to say, when we want to say 3 feminine students, now you can see over here that we are not using the feminine number, we are using the masculine number, which is thalathu. If we want to talk about the feminine, it will be thalathatu. But we know that the numbers from 3 to 10, they are opposite in gender. So al-adadu will be thalathu and ma'dud will be talibatin. And based on the same example, Inshallah, now we can do the whole lesson. So if you get this example properly, that means based on this example, the rest of the lesson will be much easier. الدرس والعشرون, lesson number 20. ليلى يا سلمى أفي فصلك طالبات من الصين واليابان? Do you have students from China or Japan, O Salma, or are there students from China and Japan in your classroom? So now we have a dialogue between Layla and Salma. So Layla is asking Salma about, O Salma, are there students from China and Japan in your country? As-Sin and Al-Yaban, these are the names of the countries, and we know that generally the names of the countries, they do not accept kasra because they are mamnu min as-sarf. But whenever there is al with mamnu min as-sarf, the noun that is diptote, then it can accept kasra. That's number one. Number two, this al is called al-idafiyya. This is extra al. It does not change the meaning of the noun. The noun remains definite. It will be marifa. The meaning will not be changed. However, al is there because the Arabs used it. So that's why we have As-Sin wal-Yaban. But generally with the names of the countries like America, like Pakistan, and some other countries, there is no need to use al with them. Salma, na'am, yes. Fi faslina khamsu talibatin. In our classroom, there are 5 students. Now we can see that she's talking about feminine students. So the number is feminine. That's why the adad that is being used for 5 is masculine. It does not have ta marbuta. Khamsu talibatin min as-Sini. There are 5 students from China. Wa arba'u talibatin min al-Yabani. And 4 students from Japan. Wa thamani talibatin min Indonesia. And 8 students from Indonesia. Also, number 8 is a special number. Well, why do we say special number? That when we write it, when we say 8 only for the feminine, we say thamanin. But when it is used as mudaf, then ya comes back, so it becomes thamani. And please remember that this ya is sakin, as we can see over here. So when you want to say 8 feminine students, we will say thamani talibat. So Salma says, yes, in our classroom, there are 5 students from China and 4 students from Japan and 8 students from Indonesia. Layla, wa fi faslina, and in our classroom, thalathu talibatin min al-Hind. There are 3 students from India. And now we can see that the Sheikh has removed the vowel signs, assuming that we should be able to know what is the ending of the noun over here. Wasittu talibatin min al-Filippini, and 6 students from the Philippines. Wasab'u talibatin min al-Kuwaiti, and 7 students from Kuwait. So Layla is telling about the number of students in the classroom. So she says in our classroom there are 3 students from India, 6 from the Philippines, and 7 students from Kuwait. Salma, kam ukhtan laki ya Layla? How many sisters do you have, O Layla? And we have learned that whenever we use kam, after kam, the noun is mansub, the noun is singular, and it is nakira. So we can see over here, but in English, the translation will be plural. How many sisters do you have, O Layla? Layla li thalathu akhawatin. I have 3 sisters. Now we can see that she's talking about the sisters, and the number from 3 to 10 is opposite in gender. So instead of saying thalathatu akhawatin, she is saying thalathu akhawatin. I have 3 sisters. Salma, wakam akhan laki. And how many brothers do you have? Now we need to be careful because now the numbers will be mixed. In the previous lesson, we have seen that all the numbers were for masculine. Now we have seen so far that all the numbers for feminine, but now they will be mixed. Wakam akhan laki, and how many brothers do you have? Layla says, li khamsatu ikhwatin. I have 5 brothers. Now when we talk about the brothers, you can see the number is feminine. And when we talk about the sisters, the number is masculine. And that's the beauty of the numbers from 3 to 10, that they are opposite in gender. They are used as mudaf ilayhi. Salma, laki thalathu akhawatin wa khamsatu ikhwatin. So how do we know it's lucky? Because we know the dialogue is between Salma and Layla. So that's why she says, Laki thalathu akhawatin. You have 3 sisters, wa khamsatu ikhwatin, and 5 brothers. Layla, na'am, yes. And there is a small pause. And after the pause, and now Layla is asking a question. She says, wa kam akhan wa ukhtan laki. And how many brothers and sisters do you have? So now Layla is asking from Salma, and Salma says, Li arba'atu ikhwatin. I have 4 brothers, wa arba'u akhawatin, and I have 4 sisters. Now we can see that the number of brothers and sisters is the same, which is 4. However, we can see that the numbers that have been used here for the masculine, the number is feminine, and for feminine, the number is masculine. Layla li zamilatun ismuha Khadijatu. Layla says, Li zamilatun, I have a classmate, ismuha Khadijatu, her name is Khadija. Laha thamaniyatu ikhwatin, she has 8 brothers, wa thamani akhawatin, and 8 sisters. Now something interesting over here. When we talk about the brothers, we say thamaniyatu, and when we talk about the sisters, we say thamani, and both of them, they mean 8. But for masculine, it will be thamaniyatu, and for feminine, it will be thamani. And again, I will repeat that this ya is sakin over here. There is no need to put any case ending for thamani. So this is the lesson so far. I believe that we still have some time, so we can do the exercises as well. Tamarinu exercises, and the exercises are very simple. Iqra, waktub, read and write. So now we have to read and write the numbers from 3 to 10. And again, as we know that the numbers from 3 to 10 will be opposite in gender. So you want to say 3 feminine students, we will say thalathu talibatin. 3 female students, excellent. 4 female students will be arba'u talibatin. In English, generally, we don't really say 4 female students and 4 male students. We simply say 4 students. But in Arabic, we can see that this is a little bit different. So when we have feminine students, the number will be different. And when we have masculine students, the number will be different. So we say khamsu talibatin, 5 female students, sittu talibatin, 6 female students, sab'u talibatin, 7 female students, thamani talibatin, 8 female students, tis'u talibatin, 9 female students, and ashru talibatin, 10 female students. Now, please note over here that when we talk about 10 female students, we say ashru. Sheen is sakin. But when we talk about 10 masculine students, we say asharatu talibin. So we say asharatu. So sheen will take fatha over there. But when we talk about 10 feminine students or female students, then sheen is sakin. So that's also something that we need to notice. Iqra, waktub, read and write. Again, we have more practice over here. Fi baytina thalathu ghurafin. There are 3 rooms in our house. Fi baytina, in our house. Thalathu ghurafin. Ghurfatun is singular, and the plural of ghurfatun is ghurafin, on the pattern of fu'alin. Fi baytina thalathu ghurafin. There are 3 rooms in our house. Fil jamiati ashru hafilatin. There are 10 buses in the university. So fil jamiati is jar majroor, which is the subject predicate, and ashru hafilatin is predicate. Hafilatun is singular, and hafilat is plural, which is the ashra. So we have hafilatun and hafilatun. That means buses. Fi hadhihi al-madrasati 8 mudarrisatin. In this school, there are 8 teachers, 8 female teachers. في هذه المدرسة 8 مدرسات. عباس له 7 بنات. Abbas has 7 daughters. Ibnatun, and the plural of ibnatun is banatun. في بيتنا 9 دجاجات. And there are 9 chickens in our house. So dajajatun, and the plural is dajajat. في بيتنا 9 دجاجات. في الجامعة 5 كليات. There are 5 faculties in the university. So kulliyatun as we know, is that's used for faculty. And then when we talk about kulliyat, then the number is opposite. So it will be khamsu kulliyatin. There are 5 faculties in the university. Fil mustashfa, in the hospital, 10 tabibatin wa 4 mamarridatin. There are 10 doctors and 4 nurses. So 10 female doctors and 4 female nurses. Khalidun lahu 3 abna'in wa 4 banatin. Now the numbers are mixed over here. Khalid has 3 sons and 4 daughters. So now look at the numbers over here. 3 abna'in wa 4 banatin. Li 5 ikhwatin wa 6 akhawatin. I have 5 brothers and 6 sisters. Again, we can see over here, 5 ikhwatin, 5 brothers. So the number is opposite in gender. And 6 akhawatin, and here. So this is feminine and this is masculine. في هذه الكتاب 10 دروس. There are 10 lessons in this book. So darsun, and the plural of darsun is durusun. So that's why the number that has been used over here is for the feminine. 10 durusin. So when we talk about 10 for the asharatu, so sheen will be maftuh. It will take fatha over here. Lana 4 a'mamin wa 5 ammatin. We have 4 uncles and 5 aunts. Again, lana 4 a'mamin and 5 ammatin. Fi baladi 5 jami'atin. There are 5 universities in my city or in my country. Balad is used for both, for country and city. So fi baladi, it's better to say in my country, there are 5 universities. Jami'atun, and the plural is jami'atun. Fi hadha darsi 8 kalimatin jadidatin. There are 8 new words in this lesson. Fi hadha darsi 8 kalimatin jadidatin. There are 8 new words in this lesson. Indi 3 majallatin. I have 3 magazines. Majallatun, magazine, and the plural is majallat. So when you want to say I have 3 magazines, you will say indi 3 majallatin. I have 3 magazines. أجب عن الأسئلة الآتية مستعملا العدد المذكور بين قوسين. Now we have to answer the questions using the number that we have in the brackets. So which number do we have over here? 6, right? Kam akhan laka. How many brothers do you have? And you want to say I have 6 brothers. So what will be the answer? Li. Yes, please tell me. Sittu or sittatu? Okay, sittatu ikhwatin. Li sittatu ikhwatin. I have 6 brothers. Okay. Kam ukhtan laki. How many brothers do you have? And here, sisters, sorry, ukhtan laki. How many sisters do you have? So you want to say, I have 5 sisters. So you will say, li khamsu akhawatin. I have 5 sisters. Li khamsu akhawatin. So the numbers, as we can see here, they are opposite. Kam baqaratan fil haqli. How many cows are there in the field? Yes, baqaratun, and the plural is baqaratun. Okay, so how many? All right, excellent. So we will say fihi asharu baqaratin. There are 10 cows in it. Baqaratun and baqaratun. Kam talibatan jadidatan fil fasli. How many new students are there in the classroom? Talibatan jadidatan, feminine students. So we want to say tis'u or tis'un. Tis'u, right? Because it's used as mudaf ilayh. So it will be tis'u talibatin jududin. Fihi tis'u talibatin jududin. And there are 9 new students in this classroom. Kam tabibatan fil mustashfa al-wilada. How many doctors or female doctors are there in the maternity hospital? Yes. Thamani or thamanin or thamaniyatu. What do you think? Excellent. So we will say fihi thamani tabibatin. There are 8 students. There are 8 doctors in it. All right. Then we have Kam hafilatan fil jamiati. How many buses are there in the university? And you want to say there are 6. Okay. So how will we say? Fiha sittu or sittatu? Yes, please. Sittu hafilatin. Excellent. Sittu hafilatin. Yes. We can't add ta marbuta because hafila is feminine and the number should be opposite in gender. So we will say sittu hafilatin. Kam ibnan laka. How many sons do you have? You want to say I have 4 sons. Li arba'atu. And the plural of ibnun will be abna'in. Li arba'atu abna'in. I have 4 sons. Kam bintan laka or bintan laki. How many daughters do you have? So you want to say I have 7 daughters. Li sab'u banatin. I have 7 daughters. Okay. Kam jamiatan fi baladika. How many universities are there in your country? You want to say 3. So you will say, yes, please. Fihi thalathu jami'atin. There are 3 universities in it. And then we have kam kitaban indak. How many books do you have? And you want to say, I have 8 books. Yes. Thamani or thamaniyatu. I have 8 books. Indi thamaniyatu kutubin. I have 8 books. Okay. Then we have Iqra al-Jumal al-Atiyata. Read the following sentences. Waktubha ma'a kitabat al-a'dadi. Then that's fine. It's okay. Ma'a kitabat al-a'dad al-waridati fiha bil-hurufi. So now we have the numbers over here, and we have to write them down in the form of Arabic numbers. So you want to say li. Here we have 4. So leave, we will say 4 ikhwa wa 3 akhawat. So how will we say? Li, as we can see over here, li arba'atu ikhwatin wa thalathu akhawatin. So as we can see over here, for 4, and we know the numbers ikhwa. So for ikhwa, we have to use feminine. And for when we talk about the sisters, we have to use the masculine number. Muhammadun lahu 5 abana wa 8 banat. So you will say Muhammadun lahu khamsatu abna'in wa thamani banatin. Muhammad has 5 sons and 8 daughters. And then we have indi 10 books wa 7 magazines, majallat. So we will say indi asharatu kutubin wa sab'u majallatin. Now it's okay. Alhamdulillah, we are learning the numbers from 3 to 10. They are slightly challenging, but it's all about practice. And alhamdulillah, we are doing the practice. And with the passage of time, we will definitely get used to the numbers. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.